Dad will stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This. Make that small and bring that one forward. And pledge. We have guests today. I think Justin, you're the only one that hasn't met.
Justin, right before you walked in, I introduced myself. Chris Nather, nice to meet you.
And I'm Dan Delper, nice to meet you.
Let's see, I just need a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Creed. Privilege of the floor, report from the development office.
Things are going along as normal. Actually, this month was a little busier, so.
Very nice. Town board, we don't have any referrals currently from the town board. We may in the future. We don't now. The ordinance committee don't have anything current. We had just done the shoreline and ridge lines. If anybody does have any additional comments, let me know and I will pass them on. Whoops.
Soundtrack, that's good.
Don't touch anything.
Don't, yes.
And I will turn it over to our guests.
Well, hello, thank you. I'm Chris Nather, your town attorney. I've been the town attorney, I've been the planning and zoning attorney for 20 years here in the town of Canandaigua. I've been town attorney for just about 10 years, as well as planning and zoning attorney. I think other than Jim Fletcher, I'm the longest person affiliated with the town continuously that there is in town hall right now. Being paid by the town. Being paid by the town is what I meant. I represent municipalities and developers throughout the state. I'm general counsel for Mark IV Enterprises, which is a real estate development company up in Rochester. When I took that job, I said, all right, but I've spent a lot of time working for Canandaigua on land use matters. I don't want to give that up. So that was part of the deal with the owners of that company, that I would be allowed to continue this job as well. It's important to me. I think we've done really good work in the past 20 years, and I think it just keeps getting better and better. The dedication of our volunteers, our staff, and our residents really blows my mind, and it's something I'm really proud to be a part of. I've been asked to talk to you guys sort of about the roles and responsibilities of the ECB. And I want to go through a couple of those things. Before I do that, I want to tell you one, I just got off the phone with Don Cotter, our town supervisor, and told him where I was and what I was about to do. And he said, oh, would you please?
If you want to grab a chair from out in the hallway, sure. We've run out of chairs. So.
What a good problem.
Yeah.
He said, tell them what a great job they're doing and how grateful we all are. And that's the main point here. You've been doing a great job. I know this because I'm in every single planning board meeting and every single zoning board meeting. And I know how much they rely on your comments and your reports. And I know how much the town board appreciates your comments on local laws and that type of thing. Hi, I'm Chris Nadler.
Hi, Mark Deutschlager.
Mark, nice to meet you.
Hi.
So what I'd like to do is go through the responsibilities given to the ECB in our town code. Then the ECB is given to the responsibilities given to the ECB in our comprehensive plan. Talk about some of my thoughts on maybe some goals that the ECB can have in terms of getting back towards what the code requires. There's some requirements that, it's been a long time since anybody looked at that. And we've had a lot of turnover in staff and your support. So let's get a list and see what we can do there. And then I want to talk, go through any questions anybody has and discuss what you guys think can be done to make the ECB even better. You're already doing great, and really important work, and I think we can do even better. One other thing that, before I start, the town just completed, closed on 2 large real estate deals. The uplands of Onondaga Park, we bought 18 acres from the Bernatovich family that connect directly to the uplands, and 40 acres from the Belleville-Royds family, which will complete in full the trail to Seneca Point Road. And I believe the town is working with the Land Trust across the road, and they can make that connection, so that's exciting from an environmental standpoint, as well as just great for the town and recreation. So the main source of the ECB's authority and responsibility comes from Town Code Chapter 18. And the main thing that the Town Code wants is the ECB to provide comments when applications are referred. That's 18-4. All applications for land use development in the town that are located in areas described in the town's open space index are required to be referred to the ECB. The other way you can have a referral is direct referral from the planning board, zoning board, or town board. Town board wants to hear from you on a land use application that isn't located within the open space index. They'll send a note and say, please give us your comments.
So just to elaborate, the development office uses the open space index that you guys are aware of, the map that goes along with that. And that's our indication of what's referred to the ECB. Unless if we get indication from those other 3 boards to refer to. But
And I think my understanding, just having seen, I've seen comments on just about every application. So I think you may be doing more than you have to. I think there may be applications showing up on your desk that don't need to be in front of you, that you're spending time on that you don't necessarily need to spend time on. It's obvious from your minutes and reports that you guys are putting a lot of effort into these, and maybe the ones in the industrial zone we don't need you to spend your time on. But so that's one of the goals that I wanted to talk about with you guys, getting staff and this board to update that open space index and make sure that what you guys are getting referral wise is what you should be getting and the town needs from you. The other powers and duties, and I'm just gonna read through these. I think you're doing most of them incidentally. Some of them have gotten dropped by the wayside, but this is what else is in town code. Advise and recommend to the town board features, plans, and programs related to environmental conservation. Advise the town board on local laws. And advise and make recommendations to the town board on an open space index. Update the open space index is what that means. Recommend and get approval from the town board to conduct public information programs. Create books, maps, charts, and pamphlets. This is all straight from the town code. Conduct studies, surveys, inventories of natural features and man-made features in the town. Maintain an up-to-date inventory of all farmland, open spaces, and environmentally significant features in the town. Communicate and coordinate with agencies whose programs and activities have an impact on the quality of the environment in the town, which requires a majority of the town, of this board, to decide to do that for some reason. Any other duties assigned by the town board, and to create an annual report each year covering what you've done. And I know that you guys are doing a lot. We haven't had an annual report that town board asked where those have been, so I think that's one of.
Actually, we did one.
Okay,
We did,
yeah,
okay.
each year
We've done it annually, yeah.
Yeah, most
Okay.
years.
Most years. Great. When we do have them, I checked, they're supposed to be filed with the town clerk, so let's do that going forward, but that's, the small print in the legalese. Some of the important things that are placed on your plate that I don't know that you guys are even aware of. And some have been taken care of, but the comp plan, 2021, the town did a comp plan update. I know some of you participated in that, but they created charts for each topic, saying whose job it is. These are all ECB secondary, and then the natural resources one, guess what, ECB is mostly primary. And I think at some points in the last years, you guys have addressed these, whether or not it was intentionally to address it in the comp plan or not. I wanna go through what those things are. The two topics are agriculture and natural resources. For agriculture, help implement the agricultural enhancement plan. Help raise awareness of protection and conservation programs and find methods to assist farmers. Help strengthen the relationship with the Cornell Cooperative Extension, and help communicate with and educate residents regarding local agricultural operations. Natural resources, this is mostly direct for the Conservation Board. Work with organizations to improve biodiversity and efforts against invasive species. Implement the 2018 Open Space Master Plan and 2020 Natural Resources Inventory. Update land cover mapping used for the 2018 Open Space Plan. Support lake-friendly farmer and lake-friendly lawn care program. Educate public on opportunities to reduce household carbon footprint and create a sustainability plan. Encourage planting and maintenance of trees on public and private lands. Help permanently protect lands with natural resource significance and support recreation on protected lands. Help review town code to identify regulations that may adversely impact natural resources. Hopefully we've gotten all that out of the town code by now, but I don't know. Help promote housing and development growth within identified growth nodes and discourage development in environmentally sensitive areas. That's something I've always been impressed, you guys do that really well in your comments. Some things, some are kind of environmental, seem like they might be environmental disasters, and yet you still say, okay, but, check this, trees, stormwater, that kind of thing, but you're still supportive of growth, which I think is important to the town. Help support regional and statewide programs to monitor and improve water quality, and help explore local ordinances to protect wetlands and other sensitive resources. Now that's a lot of stuff that I just read off. That's what you're supposed to be doing. I don't see how that could all be done by this group, and I think you're taking a giant bite out of it as it is. But going through the exercise of me going through and saying, here's a giant list, can help this board and staff focus your attentions. Pick which ones you want to do, pick which ones you have to do, and hopefully you'll see a little bit less on the referral on the application side and have some time freed up, from what maybe agendas could take a couple of those each month and say, what should we do, or figure out a way to prioritize that giant list I just read. I think the priority should be the open space index, at least confirming that it's up to date. I don't know.
Now, in 2018, after the NRI was completed, the ECB, because I was asked about the open space index, they said the NRI would be the open space index.
Very well, I agree that they said that they probably said that. It's a easy fix. Quite frankly, the 2018 Open Space Index might be accurate today, I don't know. I'd take a look at it in the next couple months, because you guys are the ones who should be making that decision. It's quite frankly, it might be all the open space and nothing's changed.
Where is it?
It's in the 2018.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's on the town website, and you can tell it looks like it's from the 2008 or 1986 plan. But that's 2018. And then coming off of that was the 2021 NRI update, which I struggle to make sense of that sometimes in terms of what's covered and what's not, because there's definitions and then there's maps. The 2018 Open Space Index is just a map. Right? Is there
There was also a
listed-
summary table in the back with
Is there also- okay, so-
prioritizing parcels. And it was giving some kind of valuation for any further conservation easements or whatever.
But, I mean, I think
So
step one
rating
would be for you guys to take a look at that in the next couple months and say, this is good, we like it the way it is, no changes recommended, or we're missing a bunch of stuff and we should have the town add such and such to it. Cause then you just send a, memo to the town board saying, we'd like this to be added.
So it was outsourced, with our review of it. So I think the big thing, like a year or two after that, was we didn't really know what they were being used for. They had these numbers. I thought the idea was to, when the town's approach was to conserve more lands, and there was programs within the state and the federal governments, as those went away, those kind of were just hanging out there.
Yeah,
And I know there was more reliance on the Finger Lakes Land Trust, stuff like that, as opposed to the town trying to actively purchase those or work out agreements with it.
yeah, that's exactly it. Those ratings, the ranking, the scoring systems were to qualify for grants, I think.
And I only know that because our farm went through it at all, and we had,
Oh, really?
we went
Which is your
with,
firm?
what's that,
What's your firm?
Damon Farms.
Okay, did
And
you do a
I know at the
PDR?
time, we had worked with, actively with, the farm team basically. We had a couple different meetings with them and doing the rankings and application stuff for it, so.
Yeah, and it's easy to say, when you go into the state, you say, look, it's
Yeah,
right in our
exactly.
open space inventory that this is worth 3
And that was
points.
the idea basically, because
Exactly,
it made
yeah.
the process easier and the town could throw, better organized information at them so they could qualify more. But I didn't know if I know that was one of the results of it, that wasn't the end all be all of it.
Yeah,
It was more of a record for the town to have, what was
Yeah, the-
important and basically use that moving forward, the natural resources inventory, when that came around basically.
Yeah. Which when I said I struggle with it, it's from a legal standpoint, the NRI, it's hard to pin down what it's directing us at. It's still a good inventory and I'm glad the town did it. But this is the guiding document for this board as to what comes to this board. Excuse me, not really for this board, it's the guiding document for the town as to what comes to this board.
There's a companion to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
There was an update.
the open space team,
Mhm.
worked with Labella to create another conservation map that did not prioritize, size of the parcel. It prioritized the number of natural resources on the parcel. And that was approved by the town board.
So right now in our code, it's just this. So maybe you guys wanna make a recommendation that we change our code to say, and that other map, that companion, map, or just that companion map.
Or it might be even going back to, this needs to be updated. I mean, we're looking at updating master plans in 27, which will lead into the comprehensive plan being updated, and we're looking at documents that are 10
Yeah, that's 8 years, yeah.
Most certainly with that, because there's other conservation easements and purchases that happened, which if there's a valuation for proximity, that would ultimately
Yeah.
change those scores.
In the town, at least when we were sort of started with our ridge line, our view shed, protections, steep slope protections, it became not irrelevant, a little unnecessary to have open space index protections as well, because everything was pretty much, if you overlaid it, you got just about everything covered, everything of conservation value. But nobody could say for certain whether it was everything or just about everything. So maybe that's something you guys wanna look at. I mean, I think this is pretty comprehensive. I think it covers most. I think most of you guys in this room could probably come up with anything that's not on there. Just by thinking about it or driving around town.
I will say the other big upgrade that happened since that with our involvement, and I know because we were trying to organize with the county, is there wasn't a good repository for shape files or attribute tables or layers that have since come online to make that screening easier.
Is that on Encore or is it?
Well, we have
different?
GIS now at the town that we never had
Oh, yeah.
10 years ago when
Yeah.
I started, and I was
Isn't it crazy?
blown away by it. So it was like piecemeal together or relying on the county information, so I know that within house, we have that now, so we can probably utilize that if we
Yeah,
are able to talk to the development office or whatever.
yeah, I think so. And I think, I mean, it's not just on your plates, it's a staff job too. But to prioritize sort of what you want to do out of the list that I just read off, I think that's what I would highly recommend as, you know, an element of your agenda. You're already doing such great work on the everything else. And, you know, it's been years since this code, since your charge was sort of looked at and said, well, are we doing each and every one of these things in chapter 18? You know, I put a fair amount of thought about it over the weekend and today. Yes, you are doing most of those things, but sometimes it's almost incidental because you're covering so much. You're getting most of this stuff done as well, but some of the inventory stuff, the open space index, the maintain an up-to-date inventory of all farmland, and I don't think that changes much, but I think it would be a good idea to just add it to one agenda a year and say, do we need to update the inventory of farmland? Do we need to update the inventory of open space? Environmentally significant features? I think usually the answer is gonna be no, but that's my strong recommendation. You're already doing such good work, and we can make it even better because the work you're supposed to be doing is listed in our town code. And we can check each one, it's numbered, so you can check each one off and you can put a couple on each agenda. And then you can, maybe one agenda, you can go through those comp plan things, some of which I think might be done already. There's a comp plan from 2021. And just say which ones of these should we prioritize? I mean, the first ones I read are assist in your secondary, so I think there's really nothing to do there. But on the second set of the natural resources list, you're the lead on those. And you know, some of them there's nothing to be doing right now. Some of it you're doing, educate public, you know, work with organizations to improve biodiversity, implement the 2018 open space master plan and 2020 natural resources inventory. You're doing that.
So to focus on these important things, kind of went into a discussion talking about the referrals that we're reviewing currently and noting that probably some of them we really don't need.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see a pretty significant drop off.
Currently, these are triaged by the PRC, who decides whether or not
It's development staff.
development staff is saying, well, ECB should look at this, or, okay.
And if we have things in question, we also talk to the chair of the planning board or the zoning board.
Okay,
And if they say yes, then it will come to you guys.
yeah,
But no, we're looking very closely at the open space
okay,
and does it check the boxes? And we have a brand new, not brand new, but it's a new process that we've been using now for a few months. If the development staff says the application is complete and ready to start the process, we automatically do the referrals up front. And that actually.
Instead of the PRC, which used to do it.
Right.
okay,
And that actually goes along with how this code is written. It says the development office shall be responsible to ensure that you get these on a timely referral of matter. And then before that, it says, referred such referrals, once occurred, inform the materials and submitted deemed adequate by the development office staff and or representative chair will be placed on your board's agendas. So that's what we're doing.
So going forward, I think you're gonna see staff send you stuff that's on the current, whatever the current open space index is. And then you can also get referrals direct from the board, which I think is gonna mean, the board chair in advance will say that I wanna hear from the conservation board on that.
But we anticipate that you will see those.
So, sorry, I'm not separate, so that might alleviate some of the ones we get, like, where we spend half an hour trying to figure out what we're trying to see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good, well, I'm glad
Sometimes
that,
we wonder why we're looking at this
why
one.
are we supposed to be an environmental conservation?
Yeah.
board?
Other than just, it's
Oh,
by,
good.
it's by the lake, so,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
double check the disturbances, whatever, impervious
yeah,
damage,
The trees, we looked at trees, see if there's desirable trees that may wanna be preserved.
yeah,
So and when you look at the map, you'll notice the shoreline is all in white, which means it would not be referred to as board. You're looking at bigger parcels. Per the open space, I mean, it's usually a 2-acre parcel or larger.
now could I see, for example, the Sands
You're right, I mean,
application?
there could be
I
definitely.
think the planning board would wanna hear from you on that, which is a 5-acre.
Yeah, I don't know.
On the lake, I think I'm assuming the planning board wants to hear from you on that, I'm assuming that staff will send it, will
Yeah, we
refer
looked
it.
at Wag,
Generally, they do, because they even ask me questions in the
Yeah.
planning board.
yeah, we looked at the Wegmans, what they wanted to do, the entrance there with the.
Oh, yeah, with that
With the
fence,
fence.
Deer fence,
yeah,
but the lake is our greatest.
Yeah, so there-
I don't know what was going on with that.
Yeah,
Need a
since,
fence.
I mean, we review
they
it.
thought it was a good
Yeah.
idea.
Well, I don't blame them, because having worked a lot on the lake, the deer are.
Oh, do they tear right through there?
Oh, they eat everything.
I saw deer once, swimming across Canandaigua Lake.
Oh, yeah,
Isn't that the weirdest? I did not know that.
No, they swim, they
No, the
swim.
deer are, especially because everybody wants a nice landscape and most of it's deer food.
And so do deer.
Yeah, they love
Because
it.
it's a buffet.
Great place to bed
That's why
down.
they swim across the lake.
Yeah.
Right. Finished off over there, now we're going on the
Let's go to the
other side.
Wegmans house.
Yeah.
Could the township pay for hunting licenses?
Well, that fence would keep them right in
We were
that
really
spot.
concerned
I
about
let
that.
people hunt 'em.
Yeah,
We were
Yeah,
concerned.
I let 'em.
yeah,
So, to get back to the open space, if that's gonna be kind of one of our charges, I know that within our charter, or what we're supposed to be doing, we have authority to, do we put in a budget for studies and stuff, or?
I think staff puts in a budget
Okay,
for studies and they're not, no is the answer. I summarized the code, let me see what that section says.
but we wouldn't kick off necessarily.
Conduct
redoing
studies,
one.
surveys and inventories, I think that means you guys. But obviously that's not gonna be terribly effective in some situations, and if you want a study or a survey or an inventory, tell staff that
Okay.
we'd like this in the budget. Problem is, when you think of it, that's for a year or 2 years down the road, because that's how budgets work.
But any updates to that from our end, that would have to go through the process of putting it in.
Of staff putting in the development budget on a
But I
line
mean,
item.
you could start, you can get RFPs for pricing and stuff, so that we have numbers.
Okay.
Because it's one thing, yeah, you tell me, okay, we want to conduct a study. I don't know exactly all the details.
I mean, I could do a study, but like, for me personally, I mean, how many hours you can have me bill out
Looking
for,
around.
or,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean,
For me,
or whatever, yeah, I mean, so like in the limited capacity that we do have, there's no way, like, the expectation is for us to put together an RFP, get 3 quotes, all that good stuff.
no, and that would be, staff would be supporting you in that, but you can help guide that.
Right.
Like in general,
Just in reviewing it should give us the guidance of what,
Yeah.
what's gonna be needed.
but staff should be getting guidance from you on the RFP.
Yeah.
In general, studies and plans shouldn't be an ECB plan
Okay.
or a planning board plan. It's a town plan, so it shouldn't go in the ECB's budget. Cause this isn't just for the ECB, it does a lot of other stuff in terms of grant applications, budgeting, code, informs the planning board and zoning board, informs our next comprehensive plan. So this is a town document, but it's obviously your bailiwick, and should you guys have input into what the next one does? I think so.
So like we can identify what we need to know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That's a matter of how we get that information, how,
Yeah.
working with you to make sure we can get that information.
Yeah.
And I'm well aware these plans have to be updated. So for 27, I've already put in the budget for updates. not knowing what they're gonna be yet, but I know the plans have to be updated, and that's what I'm presenting. Hoping that these kind of conversations will lead to us getting an idea of what we need to put our RFP out there for. And
Well,
being able to update.
So if that's for 27, what's our, like working backwards, what's our timeline for saying,
Yeah,
we need this information, like when do you need to know?
They gave us that when we did that one.
I think I might have that.
Get it by September of like, we need your
Yeah.
input.
There's, what I'm saying is there's definitely gonna be money, as long as it doesn't get cut in budget review, but if they approve my budget how it is, there'll be money for you guys to at least get started.
Okay.
And
In 2027.
in 2027, and then I can budget the remainder, and we'll finish it up in 28.
So I like Labella. I think they actually did a really good job on this. I know a lot of people at Labella. I consider them friends. Same with the guys at Bergman and all the people at Bergman who do these kind of plans and MRB Group. I like them and I think they do good work. That being said, I'd prefer that the town not pay for another document that Labella, MRB, or Bergman thinks we need. I would like you guys to say what we need, because you're the ones who do environmental conservation in the town of Kennedy, and I'd like our staff to do the same thing.
So you have the
But,
capacity within house to deal with
Say-
this.
well, to tell Labella what we want. Labella showed up, and I kind of forget this one. But Labella shows up and says, all right, you need an open space inventory, we'll take care of that for you. And then they go do a bunch of stuff, and they also get input, but personally, I would prefer if we're paying $50,000 for something that it be really tailored to the town, to this town, from the experts in what we need.
And the more that we can give them, and they
Yeah.
don't have to find, keeps our costs down.
Yeah, they'll still charge it. No, that's absolutely right.
Have you
And it's by every email they get a charge.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It'd be interesting to know from like those organizations, and companies, like what they think next steps would be for us then to think about, okay,
Yep.
no, not that for us, but maybe like what would we?
Yes, and
Is that way we're not reinventing the wheel, so to speak, on that.
I agree with that, but this is not legal advice. This is someone who's been working with this town for 20 years. I would like you to come up with that, along with staff, to say, we need this to drive everything that the town's doing in terms of environmental conservation. We've got these codes already in place, we've got these codes on the drawing board, we've got this type of development coming in, we've already identified our growth nodes, we want development here, we don't want it here. We've got agriculture, we've got steep slopes, we've got lake, and we want such and such of a document to help us protect that stuff.
We want solar on the town barn.
We want solar on the town
This is
barn,
what I want,
and we
yeah.
want solar right above all town-owned parking lots that aren't near the lake.
100%.
Keep the
Or
car
our
cool.
landscape around here.
Take RG out of the
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, let's start our own electric company.
Yes,
Work the whole airport.
I live in Fairport.
We want
But-
that
So your grandfather did.
My pool is very warm because I have an electric pool heater, and it doesn't cost me barely anything. But that's my advice, but it's not legal advice. You can just hire Labella and say, tell us what to do. And they're good at that, but they will tell you what they would tell any town, because they're good at telling towns what the towns need. They're familiar with New York State law, they're familiar with the municipal process, and they do great stuff. But this is an experienced board. We've got a staff that's getting more and more experience with this town. And we've made so many advances in this town. We're so far ahead of a lot of other towns. I go into other towns on a weekly basis. They're doing good jobs. They've got 3 times as much staff as we do. Half as many volunteers as we do. And they're a disaster. Getting through the process, everyone has their own agendas. This town, in my opinion, everyone's sort of moving towards the same goals. There's different issues, there's different ideas and ways to get there, but we've got the same main goals. Every time we get new parties elected, Democrats or Republicans, or when we have the same party and the town board members don't agree with each other, I remind them, you guys agree on like everything except for maybe 1 or 2%. And the 1 or 2% is mostly how to get there, not the actual, let's protect the lake, let's protect our agriculture, let's drive development towards our growth nodes. So, I mean, I think this board can be doing, you're already doing so much, but I think you just can be doing so much more without a ton more effort. I'm not suggesting you go wander around the town conducting parcel to parcel inventories. I'm saying at your meetings, when we have a little bit less referrals to go through, I think you guys can produce ideas and guide policy that can really take the town even to new levels.
I have a quick question about something else. So, in the list, you mentioned farmland. So how does that overlap with ag? Like with
Farmland and
the ag-
agriculture? Good question.
Yeah, that seems like an ag committee job to me.
Does seem like a job. I think environment, well, it absolutely is, but they're two different charges. Ag committee is to promote agriculture. Farmland, while it is an environmental resource, can also be an environmental problem. And so I think when you're looking at it, you look at it from a different aspect than the ag committee. The ag committee wants to maximize productive farmland. The ECB has it from an open space standpoint, from the environmental impacts that farmland creates, both positive and negative. But so it's a little bit different. I think you're right, there's absolutely an overlap there.
And we're advisory like they are, and we come up with our judgment, provide it up the authorities, and they make a decision based on it.
Yeah.
So quite often we reinforce their.
Yeah.
Farm first community, but there's a natural
Yes.
resource that needs to be protected.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right, and I think we're very practical about it.
Well, and if you wanna put,
I'm gonna say, I believe in their committee, they're charged with implementing the agricultural enhancement plan.
oh, I'm sure they are, yes.
Yeah, I don't know whether.
Yeah, they're the primary in just about all of these.
No, I don't.
Definitely a point
Yes, I think in general.
draining up through like the corner of the stream bank and stuff like that.
Well, that's-
Stuff that can be improved.
That's sort of exactly what I'm thinking about, I don't think anybody's gonna, nobody wants to make the decision which, but sometimes there's we could just route the pesticides this way and not impact that stream. And I think mostly our farmers are cooperative and enthusiastic about working with the town and stuff like that.
But as a lead agency too, it's gotta be the seeker, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The town has to be aware of, I guess, their constituents that are possibly putting them on the hook, I guess, or
No.
is that just?
No, we're not responsible for what the farmers are doing, because of New York State agriculture and markets law, which absolves everybody,
Yeah.
which says
Yeah.
you can put pesticides where we want. It doesn't say that, that's an exaggeration, sorry.
No, but that's what it's taking at.
But
That's pretty much
that's pretty much what it is,
what it is, yeah.
and there's a reason for it.
Which wouldn't really jive with what we would.
Yeah, well, but you make a really good point. Sometimes the farmer can put the pesticides over there, not over here. If it's going into a stream, that's something the ECB should raise to somebody and staff, and the town can approach that farmer and say, hey, and quite frankly, Jim Fletcher, your highway superintendent, is phenomenal at that. And Kevin Alvaney from the watershed, they go talk to farmers all the time. Hey, can I put a little,
I used to do that, yes.
yes,
Yes,
Can
don't put your manure storage next to the road ditch, thank you.
yeah, exactly.
If it spills, it's killing everything.
It's gross.
Yes, it's right down to, it's
But
just
they're getting-
downstream to Durham's water intake, yeah.
They're convincing a lot of farmers to let them put stormwater management on their farm, not in the middle of a hayfield, but the areas that aren't farmed. Hey, you're not using that acre. Can I put a a check dam there so that the water's not flowing straight into the lake. And farmers have been very cooperative. Jim's guys can do the work. The farmer gets, it doesn't bother the farmer, and we get a lot of benefit. So there's a lot of stuff that the town's doing that, quite frankly, we should probably be better at publicizing. But stuff like that, Kevin and Jim go door to door. They're like, hey, we need to stop water right here. Do you mind if we do such and such? Takes a few months here and there, but they get it all the time.
You know, like just enhancing what soil and water does, like
Yes.
having
Yeah.
the town help
All-
out on
all
what they
that,
do,
yes.
Yeah,
There's more than one group
Yeah.
working at it, all right. Depends upon,
Just the funding.
yes, what you can offer and who they will listen to.
Yeah.
And, who knows the Mennonite bishop and things like that.
But they better all have clean buckets, which they're not going to.
so what do you guys think is important for the ECB to do for the rest of this year and next year in terms of prioritizing, especially if you're gonna have a little bit less on your plate in terms of applications?
So on all the town structures.
I thought we already agreed on that.
I think everybody would have to digest this and
Yeah.
think about it. I don't think
Yes.
answers would come here.
No.
So I will say in the past, we did, for these higher up topics, we would have like those second monthly meetings back in the day. We might utilize one of those just to go through a document or something, I don't know. We have that, or we used to have it in what we had written up for ourselves.
Right.
Just separate it out from what we do now.
Yeah, until we, in the next year or something, get it figured out how to structure our meetings, so that we can, I don't know, it'd be
Well,
up
you
to
could
the
pick
group
separate
of.
each meeting, because the longer
Yeah,
the projects
absolutely.
would be less, and we could talk about something, you know.
I mean, I think it might be good for everybody to sort of individually rank sort of those priorities and see sort of where we have agreement, to come up with, and then have a discussion about those rankings.
Kim
You
did a,
can't do it all, you can't do it.
Yeah, well, and I do this-
think what we wanna prioritize, so some strategic development for us.
Well, exactly, and I do this with the planning board. Probably works out to be annually. Zoning board doesn't really need it as much because they just hear applications or hear variance applications. And town board, more behind the scenes. But I go through the codes that govern the planning board and the town board and sometimes the zoning board at least once a year. And I haven't done that with the ECB for 7 or 8 years probably. We just haven't had it. There's been a lot of change and turnover at the town, and it's
Behind the scenes, Kim has been doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coordination and getting information, so it makes our jobs easier once we get there.
absolutely.
She's our hero.
And she connected everybody, which is.
He needs a raise.
Well, I will say that there have been many occasions, I think, where looking at the referrals at individual sites and things has been of benefit, not only to the general town and the environment, but to the people who were actually constructing the homes and that
You mean
sort
as a
of thing.
group, going
Yes.
as a group?
Yes, I mean, it has been, there have been things that I think that we have suggested that has
It's a lot
proven
of,
of benefit to the construction companies and to the individual homeowners too. I would hate to see that vanish entirely because
So,
we do have a lot of information that,
their designers and their construction companies don't have,
that
and the
they don't
homeowner doesn't have.
That's right, and
Look out for that
things
stuff.
the things that they have not thought of, like making a tree well instead of trying to, remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. There are things that we know about that in general are not fairly common, but are effective and help them out and actually, protect their particular piece of the environment.
educating our residents
Yes.
one at a time.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
That is one.
It's on the
Very
ground, it's real stuff, it's on the ground, other people see it. It's not worthless.
so if you see an application that you think that would be beneficial to have happen, don't wait for the next meeting. contact staff and say, we should do this, and if the board kind of agrees, staff can send out a public notice and go do it. Before the ECB's monthly meeting, or after, whichever, but, and that kind of thing, you can sort of do via email or phone call, set that up, if it's productive, do it.
Should Kim be the point person, if there's, you know, a question about something?
No, I think the staff's liaison should be that person, Kim's your chair.
But if the boards are looking at a site plans, development
Oh.
plans, and then has a question, is this something for ECB, yes or no? Should it be bounced off of somebody on this
So-
board?
No, so if
No,
if like,
it's have to be-
if the planning board, and I'm gonna tell them at their next meeting, and I'll tell the zoning board as well. If the so the way the code reads is, you'll either automatically get referrals from the open space index,
Right.
or if the planning board refers it to you. So, and what the way that's gonna manifest is, most likely an individual planning board member will call someone on town staff
Okay.
and say, I'd like this referred,
Yeah,
so as not to wait a month for a meeting and then another month for the ECB.
yeah, the timing
The
has
whole
sometimes
piece.
been an
Right.
issue.
And those kind of referrals will come with
Yeah,
a charge essentially. We're
Yeah.
referring this because of,
yeah, we'd like to
This-
have your comments on the trees or the,
yeah.
such
So
and
that, that's sometimes for like.
or even just in general, this
Was
is,
resolved.
but I don't think you're
Or is
gonna
it just
wonder
that we
why.
gotta remember to
I think it'll be obvious, if they're asking,
Oh,
I think you'll be
Yeah,
able to tell.
process, right?
I get to see them all.
Okay. But outside of the scope of the ECB, right?
Outside of the scope
I
of
think one
ECB.
reason that it has occurred to me is that Pat and I are both on the tree committee, and we were just out at Hunt Cemetery. And there was a construction that has encroached on town property, the cemetery, and has cut roots of a tree that was,
Whose construction?
I think Mike said that
I
they
don't
reported basically.
Yeah.
You guys have it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of 102 by the cemetery.
Mhm.
And
Building,
it
what did it build
was-
it?
It was an addition to a house,
Yes,
They were
but I think
dumping
it just got
that
put.
fill onto this tree on the cemetery property. They were
Oh.
told to remove it, codes got involved, they damaged the tree, so.
Yeah, they
Yes.
dug down like 10 foot.
that tree was big when Abraham Lincoln was
I was gonna
alive.
say, that's history.
Yes.
Yes,
So
yes.
probably one of the trees you were gonna call out.
Well,
That's one
it's
of the few
actually
town-
one of
We
the
can hire
town
tree experts and
heritage
show that.
trees, yeah, there's a
Construction
tree.
company.
Yeah,
Let's get
beautiful.
somebody who knows how to save
And
that
we
tree.
did,
Is it a
we
oak?
did, yeah, it's an oak, yeah, we did,
It's enormous.
one of the tree committee people did treat, Pam Marion treated the roots.
Oh gosh,
But it's
There's
going to be
three of them
about
on
3
the ground
years
somewhere.
before we really
Yeah,
know
that's-
if it's going to help or not, because it's not
Well,
immediate.
seriously, I wanna send this construction company a notice that they're gonna foot the bill to fix whatever they did.
Well,
It's probably good.
you
Some
know,
arborist or something might have a recommendation.
Well,
They have an arborist.
we have an arborist on the committee.
Oh.
He did treat the roots, but he says it's probably going to be 3 years before we can tell whether it's going to destroy the tree or not. Because
Well, let's send
it takes a
notice
while.
anyway.
This is a huge, huge old tree.
Wow.
And the others in there.
There are 3 of them out there, and it is on town property.
Mhm.
And
Stan, do you have a contract with the town? Do you compensate him for all
I don't think so.
no, he actually is a member of the committee, and
But if,
you know.
I think being a member of the tree committee pays pretty well.
Oh, sure.
Just like you guys get
All
paid
the
pretty well.
coffee you can
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, things like that happen
Yeah,
unless somebody is aware that there's going to be construction and, you know, the tree roots go out as far as the drip line,
At least.
at least.
And that's over the entire section that they put
Yes,
up.
yes.
And-
well, I'm
and this
sorry,
is an
any
education
contractor,
that
any
all-
contractor
Yeah,
needs to know
But it
better
was
than that.
reviewed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would
They
think
need,
so.
they
Well,
need
we
to know better
didn't
than
see
that.
it.
Oh, no, we didn't.
No,
It was,
no, we didn't see
it
it.
was, I mean, it was.
Yeah, but it was, Dennis Brewer, who is the chair of the tree committee, was told that by the homeowner that the addition was going to go on the other side of the house. but it did not.
I don't know Pond Cemetery, but most cemeteries you can tell where the cemetery starts and the homeowner's property
Yes.
is.
Well, the fence on this particular cemetery is inside of the area
Maybe it was
that
just
the
done,
town
but
owns.
the contractor needs to know that, where the
They-
order
yeah,
is.
well,
I
there
would
is
think
a
there'd been a
marker.
survey would have been done
The marker,
to
yeah.
define,
That was just lazy or malicious.
We're just looking.
it sounds familiar.
Just, well, you know, if it's done,
Yeah,
You know,
after the
done.
fact.
One of those
Yeah.
engineers flipped those designs over.
They mirrored it.
but nevertheless, that is a magnificent, wonderful tree that
It is.
should have outlived all of us. And will not.
Perhaps
Is it
so
really?
well.
150 years old?
Oh, yeah, easily, maybe 200.
Is it a white oak, or
Yeah.
red, white oak?
There's an even larger one at the back end of that property that's possibly 300 to 400 years old.
Wow.
It's ancient.
Where's property?
Yeah, they're on, at clear, no, it's clear back at the corner of the cemetery. It's rather hidden in weeds right now, but it's really, there are 3 magnificent oak trees. This is one of the smaller ones, okay?
Just a little bit to get it.
Yeah. I would say it was a substantial tree when, 200 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a copy of this for everybody.
Yes, that'd be
Sorry,
great.
Yeah,
Let it so you
that'd be
guys can sort of
Appreciate that.
peruse it at your leisure.
Well, Kim, you did a tremendous job reviewing the ridgeline
Oh, thank you.
shoreline.
Yes,
And,
that was,
And, that, drilling down in that, and
It was a lot of work.
it was a lot of work, but I can see that's something that, we, as a group, can flesh out further in terms of how this is all gonna be implemented. Some, great ideas.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, overdue for it.
That's on my time.
we'll bring you a bag of peppermints for it. Someday, yeah.
No more buckhorn.
No more bucket. I got enough.
No,
How about a basket of zucchini?
yeah.
I remember friends giving me torpedoes
Are you
and.
making round ceremony boxes right now?
I think I throw away more than ever you could use.
The deer like them.
Chickens like it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's-
Justin's got chickens.
Leave them on the doorstep and ring the bell and run away, that's.
Now I know where I have that.
Actually,
Stay around Zoom.
it's so,
It's
so wet.
It's
I
everywhere.
Oh, really? Yeah, my soil's so good that it gets
Oh.
well drained.
Oh,
It was more a matter of keeping the critters out of
I see.
rabbits.
Yeah, I had woodchucks.
There's always
I've had a problem. I got the fence up a little bit late and.
Got a permit for that then?
So what's next?
It's temporary.
Everything's
I-
done.
No, it's covered under right farm.
Actually, it is, it's held up with electric fence posts that you stomp into the ground and zip ties to hold the wire up and the wall.
Zip ties
Sounds like
are not
mine.
useful.
The chicken run has a baby gate going to it right now,
Oh,
where I tripped it with a tractor. Whatever's there goes on the fence.
So everything I covered, everything I went through is either right here in 18-5 or on the sheet I just handed you. So you've got everything. Anything you guys can do to prioritize that stuff by far after your comments, because those are really useful to the planning board and the zoning board and the town board when they get them. It's not ranked, but that's, just having been in the meetings, I know those are valuable, so.
So if anybody has any ideas or comments or whatever they wanna share, send me, I'll collect them up. And I can send them out.
So, perfect. And feel free to reach out if you have questions. I'm available, your staff is available. But yeah, please keep up the good work. I know the town board's appreciative. I know the supervisor is, because he literally just said it. to me because I happen to be on the phone with them. But I know the planning and zoning boards appreciate it too, as do I, and I know that your staff does too. So thank you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Just, do you know anything about lack of power or power being able to be? I know there's projects in our town waiting for power, is there any sort of input?
So I'm right on the top.
Huh? Other towns are too, everybody is.
This is a big problem.
It is a big problem.
So the town and the county was an RG&E and Navy, and the developer for Uptown Landing were able to secure a big grant that requires some ponying up from the developer, some ponying up from the town, and will bring that power to Uptown.
That'd be great.
Which, and I believe, and some of this information I'm getting from your son, I believe Diamond Acres has power or will from that.
Because I know I saw where the supervisor of Henrietta was in a powwow with the governor and some other upper up folks and he was talking about, we know him for pictometry days.
Oh yeah, he's a
And,
sketch.
And he does,
RIT with
he
him.
works with, he works with like AI centers or whatever.
Yeah,
They take in so much energy and they wanna come to Henrietta, there's.
and if you're a
it's like,
town like
How do you figure out
Henrietta,
how to do
if
this?
you're a town like Henrietta, getting an AI power center would be a gold mine.
Yeah,
Cause it doesn't bother anybody, it sucks up a lot of electricity
yeah.
and it pays a ton of property taxes. But it doesn't, you don't need more roads, you don't need more housing, you don't need more, fire trucks. It's just, cause they'll pay for it, they'll pay for fire suppression. It's a gold mine. I don't think it'd be right for the town of Canandaigua. For Henrietta, it's perfect, but he can't get the electricity for it.
But for Canandaigua, people wanna move here, so housing is the big thing.
Housing, exactly.
No moratorium on them now though, right?
Yeah, cause there's no electricity for it.
Yeah.
In
Just wondering.
Penfield, there's a, I wanna say 500 unit development that got approved. And they had to stop because the town bus garage, the school district bus garage, put in so much electric chargers for electric buses that they can't buy anyway. So, but the power has been allocated for that. So RG&E pulled a will serve letter on that. Yeah, so it's happening all over.
It is all over.
Maybe Fairport would be a great place, cheap electric.
We can't, Fairport doesn't have any more electric.
Right.
We're already buying on the open market.
Right.
And our rates are not as,
Not as good.
when I was growing up, you could heat a 3,000 square foot house for $30-40 a month. This is the 80s, but.
Yeah, right, well, it's
But it's not, and my electric bill is not dirt cheap anymore, and I heat with gas because in the winter, there's a winter usage surcharge because they can't produce enough electricity. So it's actually cheaper.
Because everybody's
for me to
on
gas.
electric.
Exactly. They won't let us
That's why I heat with
put,
buckthorn.
There you go.
Me too. Buckthorn and ash.
Oh, I know, I've got plenty of that too.
You can have a roadside stand as a side sign,
Bundles of buckthorn,
yeah.
$10 a bundle.
Oh, buckthorn throws a lot more heat
Oh,
than
my
ash.
goodness.
That's.
No, I was just wondering about that, because you
Oh, yeah.
hear about that all the time.
yeah,
It's pretty
There's a
good.
lack of it.
That was so fancy.
it's a problem is the
Yeah.
answer. The town has done everything it can, I think, at this point, and will continue to do everything it can for individual projects that need it.
Yeah,
My understanding is smaller stuff, if you wanna build a new house, there's no problem.
right.
It's the big
Big
poles.
things, yeah.
And, we want it, we want all of the big things right there where we're putting them, Uptown Landing, Diamond Acres. And hopefully we can get that power there, but I think we will be able to.
So the developers for up there are just working with the grant, or are they changing
Working.
out the plans to include some
Uh,
energy improvements or anything?
no, so I guess the problem is with like the switching station, the transfer stations, you see the chain link fence with a bunch of,
The capacity.
yeah, it's taking the power off the main transmission lines across the state and reducing it in voltage or amperage to what goes into the mains throughout the town and then into people's houses. And I guess the infrastructure there is not updatable except for like tens upon tens of millions of dollars. I think I heard the number $70 million at some point.
We got it.
For statewide.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it was either 40 or 70 for here. And then, so our genie does this. They tell you that we had actually we had a project in Henrietta. They said, oh, sorry, we can't. We told you we'd give you electricity, but we can't. 70 apartment townhouses. And they said, oh, sorry, we can't. And we said, well, but you kind of have to. And they went and looked over here. Instead of coming from this way, they said, oh yeah, we have enough service over here, but it's gonna cost $7 million to get it to you. And we said, could you look at that again, $70,000.
Well,
So they highball and then, I mean, they can't charge you whatever they want. They actually have to show you eventually, and it turns out lower.
They're trying to scare you away, so they don't have to deal with it.
Well, RG&E is also not a giant company anymore. I could name each and every one of their engineers. They fit on two hands. They used to have 200 engineers. So these 10 engineers are, yes, they're amazing, they're great, they're civilized, they're nice, they return phone calls, but there's a limit. If somebody drops it, I think that's better than, because they've also got every single house going up. They gotta approve the plans for every single thing. So yeah, I mean, I don't think they're out there banging on doors trying to get people to build new housing developments if they can help it. But that's not to cast aspersions on them. They're working as hard as they can. Okay.
Yeah. Newsletter, or not newsletter, display case.
Oh, yes, well, I think I'm going to do a new one for invasive species.
sounds good.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
I could bring specimens, yes.
Yeah.
Onondaga upland is infested with a great deal of multiflora rose and with Japanese honeysuckle and, of course, inevitably buckthorn. A lot of the problems in the road ditches in this town are Japanese knotweed, which gets carried on
Also the Frank
blades, yes. So I think maybe just another display of that, which I've
Okay.
done before, but I think it'd be good, this is a good time of year.
Probably
When they
the
go around the
Atlantis
cemetery, they
too.
can look at it across the street.
Well, yes, that is also affecting the wetlands big time because the knotweed pretty much travels the stream banks and covers up, wetlands and.
It was introduced to control erosion, wasn't it?
I
Some
think,
other
I think it was,
An ornament.
No.
Yeah.
It was-
Flowers.
a lot of it came in on pallets. It was used for stuffing, for cushioning on overseas things. And it is horrible. It
Go
is
through concrete,
terrible. It will go
asphalt.
through concrete, it will go through asphalt. It will grow on your roof if the birds poop it out there in your gutters. It will shatter into sharp, pointy sticks that are really hard. You can cover it up with black plastic for about 5 years and maybe get rid of it if you've got a small infestation. It has been impossible to sell properties in England and so on if it's infested in
Oh,
those
really?
properties, yes.
These bags.
They have to dig it out and it goes to a separate landfill in those countries.
But the good news is you can eat the shoots in the early spring.
Well, you can if you are really, really, really hungry.
Sounds delicious.
Supposedly they are like asparagus, but I haven't been hungry yet.
Rhubarb, actually.
Oh, rhubarb, yes,
Oh, what
that's
is
right.
this?
Strawberries and
Right.
nutmeg, you're good.
Yes, well, I can't recommend it anyway. I don't know anything about that. But it will be blooming along in the fall. And the bees do work it, which is the only benefit of it, in great contrast to this stuff, which nothing consumes,
Nothing, yeah.
at least not without repercussions.
Definitely.
So I think maybe we will do another
sounds
stint
good.
on that, with proper cautions about using herbicides. Because herbicides are made to kill cells, and your cells have much of the same mechanisms as plants do.
You also don't wanna, if you've got beneficial plants in the area, you don't wanna kill everything.
Yes, that's why I am cutting.
Or really wet
Yes,
locations
yes,
or whatever.
Right, you don't wanna get the herbicide on other stuff, yes, and
Did we ever do an invasive survey in the town?
we should.
As part of the tree? I mean, that's
We
something
should.
we talk about a lot.
What we're doing is
Actually, I
pretty
have
much
invasives do it.
looking,
Yeah.
So
we're
just part of
looking
it.
at invasives that are in town property at this moment, you know.
So the DEC, I know, does a lot with invasive species, and one of your charges is to coordinate with agencies,
Yeah.
get them to do it for you.
Yes, well, we have the tree committee has looked at town properties carefully to see what invasives are there. I can show you a buckthorn that's growing in the lilac bush and sandhill cemetery. But it would be nice actually to know if the tree committee could be authorized to remove the buckthorn tree in Miller Park and in Sandhill Cemetery. I have a couple of chainsaws.
I would think that you should talk to Greg Reynolds about that, and have him take that up the tree to the town board, and they'll pay for the gas for your chainsaw.
Yes, well, my favorite.
You have to
is
know how to do
actually-
Yep.
It's, there are problems in many of the town properties with invasive species,
Mhm.
and not just stuff in the road ditches,
Yeah,
which
hopefully you can get
does
rid of that.
exist also. But, you know, you need, proper
I'll touch
equipment.
base with Greg for
Would you?
you.
I would like to know, I don't wanna get arrested, but it drives me crazy to see these things growing in the parks.
Make sure you put the hockey mask on first.
Just wear your ACB badge.
Yeah, right, well, I wear my leather gloves and sometimes a
Get
mask.
these like little cotton jumpsuits. They're like
Yes.
$9. You can get them on Amazon. If you're going after poison ivy or anything that might get you.
Yeah.
Covers head to toe. They got a hood with a drawstring.
Yeah,
I'll have him get,
okay, well, we do note them and report them,
okay,
but like this, the last paragraph of
Like, who are you
the tree
reporting them
committee.
to?
I just write them, I give them to Dennis Brewer
Oh.
and,
I've sent them along
Sends
to
them
Greg
along.
Greg
Yeah.
and maybe Jim.
and Jim.
uh-huh. But there's a huge thicket of buckthorn on town property just across the road on Outhouse Street, yes.
I made a note, I'll let Greg know.
Okay.
To
And,
okay.
last job before I left,
So-
the whole company were clearing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, send me your reports, I'll pass them along.
Okay, very good, I will email them to you also. But,
Sounds
Big machine can't cut it.
but I would like
Small spin
to not get
wheel.
arrested for it.
I think it's unlikely that you get arrested.
Well, it looks.
Because you seem like you could talk your way out.
Well, you know, I'm old, they can
Yeah.
just take it as dementia, you know.
Well, I don't know how I got this chainsaw.
I don't know, what is this, yes?
And you got a town lawyer behind you.
Yeah. Tell him I said fine.
Yeah, that's all you need.
I'll come bail you. I'll come bail you out.
Oh, okay.
Or get Rip Roxon to bail you out.
Yeah, so, well, just don't tell my children about it, that's all.
So we do have a newsletter coming up, if you have any content for it,
Okay.
let me know. Our deadline is tomorrow, but if you need to send me something next week.
As always for me.
That's always, yep, feel free. And, let's see, I didn't have too much else other than to let you know that they're talking about maybe putting solar and geothermal in with the new cabins for Ononda. So they're investigating that right now. And I did touch base with Don Potter about the climate smart community. And he's very interested in moving that forward. And that would also help the, possibly for grant funding for the Ononda work. So,
We had you mentioned geothermal, we had a query from someone on the planning board about whether we would endorse or discuss
Is that Mr. Mark Tolbert?
some type of incentives for people doing geothermal. And it'd probably be a little tricky. I mean, I think it's, in terms from an environmental standpoint, it's good to encourage something like that, but I'm not sure. I didn't recall what he has several, I guess, proposals, things to
Yeah.
incentivize
I don't
geothermal.
know, I think the incentive is lower costs in the future.
Well, I think what he's thinking about is,
Yeah.
would you support that if he works out the details and finds the incentives and,
Yeah.
or, I think your answer is probably yes, it seems like a good idea.
Yeah. We do suggest it on projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it piggyback off of like the solar, the town for what we have for that, for increasing the value,
Do we?
or do we not have that anymore for where it impacts your assessment value?
Yeah, because it's prorated, right? I mean,
Residential based?
residential solar.
I don't know what that assessor does.
Doesn't add to
I
it.
just don't know if it does.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's an offset.
I'm not gonna ask.
For solar on new build house? Yeah, there used to be, I don't know.
It's I do a lot of valuation stuff, probably about a wash. It adds a ton of value, but it's ugly, for the most part, presumably. So it probably washes out.
Makes
Well, I think
re-roofing
people
your
are
house very
used to look
expensive.
at it.
Yeah.
I had some friends who have to remove their solar.
Plus you can buy
off-putting.
roof tiles that have it,
Yeah.
have
Oh,
everything.
those roof tiles that seem cool. I'd like to see that.
Just get covered in snow. So you gotta have a plan with the company to offset it.
That was all I had, unless
Oh, I
somebody
had
else.
one,
Oh, sure.
I don't know if we discussed it last time, but I think there's been some new oak wilt discovered in the town.
New website.
Recently. within the
Oh,
last couple of
Actually, it
weeks.
was discovered in Greece.
Okay, I heard chattering
We
that there
have
was some
it,
of
we
in
have
the
it
city
in
or
this town
here.
too, yeah.
Maybe like a new
Yeah.
pop-up.
I know there
I saw
was-
some at the yacht club,
Yeah,
it has a oak tree that's got wilt.
so we reshared in the last newsletter the article that Edith had wrote. And I also shared a small piece under it about reporting Oakville. Because you can report that, I believe, to the DEC.
Yeah, they
wanna know.
Yeah, I just heard rumblings there of another outbreak or.
It was probably the Monroe County one, so, because that's brand new for them. So, not good, but
Oh, yeah.
So we got a wounded white oak, which is normally good at handling that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be injured,
Yeah.
and so
Well,
we should probably treat.
Yeah, well, the other thing that we noted when we were doing our tree tour of let's see, we did Hun Academy and Lucas Cemeteries last time, is that there is a great deal of mower damage on some of the roots that they have taken a really close circumference and scalped the roots. And Dan is going to treat some of them in Hun Cemetery because they're really egregious and will damage those trees.
Can you convey that to Greg too?
is that
We
in
hired
the
that out.
report?
That's in the report,
Okay.
yes.
We contract that. Those
Yes.
guys are just trying to save themselves.
They
Weed
are
whack in town.
going as fast as they can and they scalp the roots and they hit the bark and the lower part of the trees and that invites virus and
Oh, yeah.
fungus and everything else, and it needs to,
You get murder landscapers to
yes.
go for the contract.
They've asked me to get on those years ago.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we had trouble
They
getting
don't wanna,
anybody
they
to
don't
do
wanna
it.
weed whack, that's what I want.
Wouldn't do it cheap enough.
well, the things that they do
It
to
helped, that's the problem.
reduce their effort.
Yeah. Well, it's,
A
I
few
mean, these are
years
kids
ago,
mostly.
Yeah, it is.
we had black plastic around every tree and every shrub, which of course prevented infiltration from rain. And I saw Dan Marion literally run to his truck to get a knife after we pulled him. I mean, like 5 seconds was really going to save this, but
Run.
he was so upset. And they did get that out. The other thing that we keep noting is that the water bags are filled when they plant the new trees, and they may not ever be filled again. And of course, since these are plastic, they will prevent infiltration if they are not full of water so that the infiltration takes place. They will act as a barrier. And I think the town has invested a lot of money in quickly dead trees because the water bags were there and were fine while they had water in them, but they've got to be consistently filled.
I know that was in your last report,
It
and I
was,
did
yes.
share that
We
along,
keep
so.
saying it though.
Yeah, no,
Defining it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's, you know, if they're not used properly, they will create a barrier. And make, you know, drought kills.
I could always ask Greg if he would be interested in attending, maybe a tree team or something.
Oh, that would be great.
He's on vacation right now. I think this upcoming week he's on vacation, but,
Well, we plant trees.
There might
plant
be-
trees and,
good
you know,
to connect with him that way.
so it's a continuing difficulty. Or gripe, if you want to be blunt about it.
Start one having a pocket full of nails.
Why?
Throw 'em
Yes.
down.
Was there anything else anyone had?
No.
I just, what?
Got a wastebasket.
Right there.
Yes, just for your
Burn it
information,
in
all
your
of those seeds will be, if they hit the ground, they are viable for 5 years.
Oh, my lord.
Wow.
Yes,
They're very good at.
they
They're
are
very good,
real
yeah.
survivors. If you
Good
cut the,
laxatives.
yes, they are extremely laxative. Rhamnus catharticus.
Wasn't that when
Yes.
they thought all the airplanes were dumping their stuff? But it was, some of it was to do with like these large reverberations and whatever, just pumping on everything.
Yeah, because the birds eat them and then they don't get anything, it just goes right through them.
Yep, it does.
They don't get anything out of them.
So I just need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Hope you gentlemen enjoy
Yeah,
our
thank you,
little
guys.
group.